This video was made possible thanks to EA Game Changers. Well, hello there, it's Kriint and welcome to another tiny house. So we're making our way down to the tiers, and today we're building a tier 2 tiny house, which as you can see, the max size of it is 64 tiles. Now I managed to make this one exactly 64 tiles. As the title suggests, it's a Scandinavian tiny house, and yesterday I mentioned that my two favorite styles to do is modern mid-century and Scandinavian. However, I wanted to do all these cool features and make it look really unique and different. And place, as you can see, this cute little accent of tiles on the top and do some other cool stuff. But I couldn't because alas, I didn't have the tiles to spare, and I was like, okay, that's annoying, what do I do? And I really tried to make it look like Scandinavian and try to make it unique. I decided to go once again with a black neutral theme. You will see the outside has black windows and doors and black accents, and then the rest is beige. And that's mainly the idea that I followed on the interior. Now, I tried to make the exterior look as unique as possible. I used a lot of the tool mod, as you can see here. For example, I wanted to do this cool feature, the windows are sticking kind out, but I didn't like the one sticking out window that we have, which is from, where is it from? Get Together. I was like, oh, that sucks. So I had to manually make the column sorter because I couldn't actually make them shorter. The game was like, oh, I'm sorry, this is the minimum tall height. I'm like, why? Why can't you make the column smaller? It's just a block. It should be able to make them smaller. So I was very annoyed with that. And yeah, I decided to use, as you can see here, some plants to make it somewhat more unique, I don't know. And once again we have a garage because I don't know, I really like the look of garages, and I did it as yesterday with roof. So if this is your first time watching it, you will see it in a bit. Essentially, I use the roof walls as exterior walls and I can connect them to the build. And why this is good, yes, sure, okay, I could use it as it was, but you can essentially create somewhat of a split level. Yeah, it's not usable, but I think it's very handy because you can place them anywhere. And I really wanted, at this point, I was like, okay, the exterior is kind of fun, but it's missing something. It's missing some accent. Why is this build unique? So I decided to add it, a future, if you will. So I decided to add it into a hill, a tiny hill, and add staircases, steps of stairs. You will see what I mean in a bit. But that became even harder because stairs in The Sims don't work really well, especially with terraforming, which it was so annoying. Here, I tried to make it takes me 5 years, and I had to use tiles, which I didn't have, obviously, a lot of tiles. This is a tiny house, 64 tiles is your max tile count. So it took a lot of wobbling around to try to make it work, and I think it's fine, but it was so annoying and frustrating. So the garage door, okay, I need to find the tutorial to give this girl a shout out. There is this one simmer that did a really, really cool garage door in the foundation, and I'm like, ooh, that's cool. But I didn't really want to do it in the foundation. What I liked about it was the way that she made the door. So essentially, I'm still trying to find the video. What she essentially did was, how do I explain that? Create an arch, and then she overlapped the Get Famous, how are they called? Wooden beams, if you will. Not completely sure. Okay, I cannot pronounce her name. Smack, maybe. I'll put the link of the tutorial in the description, but it was really handy. And I really liked how the garage door looked because it was so modern. I'm like, this matches like the modern style house so perfectly because I didn't want to use like the city living doors. And here we come in the back. I was like, I don't know. So if you live in a snowy climate, I would love to know if you have like an outdoor pool. Because I tried to find, like, I Google searched winter backyards or like snowed backyards to see, you know, what people in the snow have, like when they live in snowy climates, have in the backyard. I'm like, I don't know. I decided to add a pool, and then later on, like in the end, I added steam and bubbles because, you know, I imagine it's a heated pool, but I don't know, like I think it would be cool to like be in a hot tub while snowing. I've never done that. I've seen it in movies though. I don't know about a pool, but I feel like it added like that extra something to the backyard, which I liked. So I decided to use these particular plant, quote unquote plants, like they're not exactly plants. They're from the back. I feel like they really go well, and I found a lot of Scandinavian, like this type of houses have this type of plants, which makes sense because like if it snows all the year, the plants don't really stay alive. But what was annoying is by default, these plants are above the ground, like they elevate a few inches, centimeters, you know my point. So I had to like manually make every single plant go like a few points down, which was so annoying. So we're moving into the interior. Last time I told you that I didn't get to use any Murphy beds because, well, I wanted the house to be very spacious and I didn't really see any point of using them. This time around, I was like, okay, we're gonna use Murphy beds. And I tried like to make it work somewhere in the living room, but I couldn't. So I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll do it upstairs. And then I go upstairs and I try to fit a Murphy bed. Guess what? Surprise, surprise, I couldn't fit a Murphy bed. So I'm like, we're too built-in. And I haven't used the Murphy bed once. And I was so annoyed at this point. I'm like, cool. And while editing this video, like I edited since the embargo has lifted, so like the day after. Well, I guess it's Tuesday. No, it's not, it's Monday. What? On Monday. So I've seen what other people created with a pack, and I want to say that they showcased the pack better than I did. What I did was build tiny houses with, like, my personal, like, opinion, cute tiny houses based on, like, the challenge that the sim provided. 100 tiles, 64 tiles, 32 tiles. They showcased the pack, like, with the interior. I didn't do that. And I'm really annoyed with myself. So expect a couple more tiny houses that will showcase the pack. I don't know, like I saw it and I was editing today. I'm like, oh man, I didn't showcase the pack at all. Why? I hate myself. Like, I built the houses that I liked and that is it. So yeah, kinda annoyed. I didn't use once again a Murphy bed. But no matter what, like, yeah, okay, you weren't really able to see the pack. I still hope you enjoy the builds. So when I went into the interior of this house, as I told you, my first thought was Murphy beds. When this didn't work, I was like, okay, now what? And surprise, surprise, I used the sectional couch. This is, I don't know, like third, fourth build in a month that I use it. I don't even recall. It's absurd. I need a new sectional couch in the game, like, help. But yeah, after using that sectional couch, I was like, this is perfect. So earlier this month, I was trying to make like my dream Scandinavian house. I think that I don't have a single dream house, and none of them are like big mansions as I see other simmers have. I don't like the idea of having a mansion because I don't really want to have kids. So it's like wasted rooms. And like, I like the coziness of small houses. So while discussing, obviously, with my boyfriend, we had this big conversation of where we would like to live and what type of houses we would like to live. And he was like, oh, I would love to live outside the city. And I'm like, why are we even together? We don't even want the same things. And like, we're 10 years together. So I had like this existential crisis. And then we kept on talking, and we came to the conclusion that we would love to live like in different houses in different climates. So for example, if I moved, moved to a Scandinavian country, I would love to live in a house like that, like somewhere outside in the snow. Dreamy, for me, dreamy. However, if I lived in the city, I wouldn't like to live like in a big city. I wouldn't like to live in a suburb house. I would love to live in a townhouse. So I have like these different, I guess, styles. And we came like to a conclusion where we both would like to live, which is stupid because like we're currently living where we are and we're not planning to move for at least 1 year more. So it was kind of interesting, to be honest. But yeah, my point is designing on the sectional couch made me realize that, I would love to live here. And yeah, okay, the house is too small, so maybe not purchase the house and live permanently here, but like rent it and live like for a couple years, I would be so happy. So I decided to build it and decorate it to a style that it's closer to how our apartment looks like, because it's a small apartment. It's a very small apartment. So yeah, what you're currently seeing is a mix between how I would like my house to look like and how it currently looks like. And I found it, interesting. Like, for example, the bed. The room was big enough to add the bed in the middle. However, I have like this absurd thing that I cannot, for the life of me, sleep in the middle of the bed. And by that I mean, as a kid, my bed was next to a wall. When I moved with my boyfriend, the bed was next to the wall. So, like, after 25 years, I have the habit to go towards the wall and just hug the wall in some sense. So when we go on vacation and we stay in a hotel and I have to sleep in a bed that's in the middle, it's so weird for me and I cannot fall asleep. So yeah, I decided for example to add the bed next to the wall because screw it. It's not going in the middle of the room. I cannot sleep there. And for example, the desk. This is very similar to the desk that we actually have, thanks to IKEA. With that shelf, how's it called? The shelf that has the books on top of it. If you went to IKEA ever, you've definitely seen the shelf that I'm talking about, that. I can't brain fart, but that bottom part that the desk on top of it stands to, yeah, it's similar to it. So yeah, something to note though, you will see all the screenshots and everything with pictures that I've downloaded from the gallery, because I wanted it to have this black and white theme with some peach accents. However, when in the end I tried to see how the gallery thumbnail looked like, apparently some of them make the build modded and I cannot stand finding which of them are, so I'll have to delete all of them and kind of replace them with in-game ones. The bathroom. The bathroom is the only thing that I wouldn't like to have in this house. It really annoys me, not because of its size, but because I cannot fit anywhere here. Everything here. It was so annoying to make it work. Another simmer, I cannot recall her name, made a 1x1 bathroom fully usable with a toilet, with a sink and a shower. I had a 2x2 bathroom and it took me so long to make it usable. I was like, God damn, she was either not available, like couldn't reach the toilet or the sink, and I'm like, screw you, I hate you. It was so frustrating, like how other people can make like one by one entire bathrooms and I cannot fit everything in a 2x2. It's beyond me. So we moved to the backyard. This is obviously like the last thing that I will work on. And something that I noticed, I don't know if it is because the landscaping or what, but I couldn't place tiles next to the pool. And it got really frustrating until I figured out why I couldn't place the tiles. So I was like, why? So annoyed. But yeah, apart from the pool, I was like, what else do you have, like, if you live in a snow? Grill is something that I would love to have in my house because I love, like, during the summer going outside and grilling in our balcony. Like, not me, obviously, my boyfriend. So I was like, yeah, grill. And I really like the fire pit, so I was like, maybe. And I don't know, I don't know what do you have when it snows in the backyard. Because, like, it can easily get ruined. So I was like, I don't know, let's just keep it simple, as the rest, of the house. So we reached towards the end. You will see some screenshots of the house. Obviously, it's a small one. I only managed to fit 2 Sims and a dog, because that was it. But yeah, expect some more tiny houses that showcase the park better and are kind of more challenging. These ones that I'm currently doing are more like aesthetically pleasing, I think. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this house, and I hope that you enjoy the Scandinavian lifestyle. I don't know, I would love your opinion on it. And yeah, this is everything. I don't know what else to say. Oh yeah, the build will be available tomorrow if you want to check it out. And yeah, this is everything. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have an amazing day and take care. Bye!